Hey Thor, welcome to the screen. How are you doing today? Doing good? That's good that you're here. That's good that you're here. Have 80k points? That's great. Does that mean you're almost there? I think you're almost there, right? No, you're actually there. You're actually there. You can blow it on up now and redeem it. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. Just gotta wait for the ads to run out before we can get started. Let me see. We have a few things to take care. Let's see. I'm still waiting for my trip until the reason it takes so long is because I already commissioned Mia for something and only did one commission. Do one commission at a time because I don't want to stress her with more than one commission. Ah, I see. Whenever you're ready. Just be careful to not spend the points on throwing too many shurikens on my head. Ow! Hi, Mamachi! Just a few more seconds. Many of them, to be exact. You should already blend this. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Hello everyone! How's everyone doing today? Today we shall work on commissions. Yes. I am doing a alert pack for Zyber. I do have some adjustments. I already done a few things like the new follower. This one's pretty cute. Ow. But there was a tiny mistake that I have made. Because I didn't animate the ears properly. I wanna fix that today. So first things first. While she's entering, I want the ears to be a little bit lower. This should also help with the other thing is that Zyber has Phantom. I think it's Will-O-Wisp from her ears, right? And now I have 79. Nice. So while she's going up, I wanna alter how her ears look like, and I don't want her fire to be up high yet. So basically something along the lines of this. There we go. How long does it take to get 20 points? Probably really quick, right? Probably a few minutes. I would think. They don't really disclose that much about the point generation. Or I'm really bad at it and I haven't seen it at all. One of those. It's either one. It's either one. You get 10 points every 5 minutes if you're sub 12. Man, the difference isn't that dramatic, actually. I thought the difference was bigger. Interesting. I thought the difference was bigger. That's a good number to know. Honestly, that's a good number to know. Thank you, Zora. Thank you. Okay, so I want the ear to be like this. Better to do like this and delete the extra parts. Tier 1 is 1.2, Tier 2 is 1.4, and Tier 3 is 2 points. Ah, that's why Lunatic generates points much faster than everyone else's. I see. Okay, makes sense. That does make a lot of sense. I see. Man, I didn't even notice, but there is a new Ghost of game out there. And my mate's correct, you get a chest with 50 points every 25 minutes. Huh. Interesting. Chest with 25 points. Oops. I see. Oh yeah, the chest, that's true. They exist to make life a little less hard when it comes to point accruage. But they require you to be paying attention to the string so you can see the chest coming up. Why is... Oh, right. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so now... Here we go. And we do these. And we do these. And there we go. Chat. There are way too many. And I mean way too many. Isekai. This used to be funny. It's not that funny anymore. Starting to get a bit tiresome. Cheering gives 350 points once per month. Gifting subs gives 500 points once per month. Ah, interesting. There are so many different ways to get channel points. Wow. I feel educated, kinda. Oh, participation in raids too, huh? Man, they really have the system figured out, huh? So it is pretty weird. I don't want the cycle to be too big. But it's kind of a minor thing. So I do want to adjust. And then watch streaks, which caps at 400 string. You gotta get high enough streak. Sadly, my streak ended because I didn't make like string. Ah, and there's that too. Oh, I see. That's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff. I feel like... Oh, that's how I did the year. Interesting. There's a multiplayer from some that I mentioned earlier. Yeah. Okay. I see. That's how that works. Fascinating. Also, I am wondering, there's a slight off pixel here, and I am wondering, why did I notice that just now? Why would I notice that just now? Like, goddammit. We're gonna have to fix this. We're gonna have to fix this on every frame. Cause I don't like it. I like to keep my pixels organized, you know? If the pixels aren't organized, it's chaos. Chaos will rule. We don't really want chaos to rule all the time, at least. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna actually I'm gonna be super smart. Why did I just remember the air art you did just because I just said the joke? Air art? Oh, the air art. that. I mean, that was a, let's be honest, one that was a good bit. Two, technically, wind motion is a thing. That doesn't hurt to learn. So why the heck not? Right? Okay, so basically what I'm gonna do here is we're gonna make the ears without the flames. And then we're gonna give the flames their own little layer. So I can animate them in peace without having to worry about the rest of the piece. Know what I mean? I figured I could make a educational sort of joke. Yeah, educational joke. Let's call it that. I do on occasion shock people from time to time on how open I am to just do stuff on stream because I was asked to do. Like, obviously, I do want to work on the commissions when I'm streaming pixel art, but also, this is mainly entertainment, you know? Which is why I'm okay with doing this sort of stuff. And it's nice because I get to relax a little bit. Like work, but a little bit more relaxed, you know? Yeah, we're doing this right. God, yesterday, my doggo trolls me, you know? My doggo trolls me. She woke up in the middle of the night, tapping her paws on me, wanting something, couldn't figure out for the life of me what it was. Cause like, my doggo is a huge coward. She is, unfortunately, the poor thing. Gets scared out of everything so easily. She's so easily scared. Hey Camel God, how are you doing? So whenever like she hears a weird noise or something that feels kinda off to her, she will absolutely let me know. She will let me know she is not pleased with whatever the hell is happening. Here we go. Oh, this is cute. This is so cute. Wait, but did I not add the new year? I did. But I copied it. So why is the year different here? Wait. My god. What is happening? Ah, okay, I think I figured out. I have been coughing my lungs out for a few weeks now because I was sick a few days. Oh no, hope you get better soon, Zor. I've been a little sick today lately. It's because of the weather. The way the weather is acting, it's acting like really wonky around here. Like super wonky. Huh? Why can I not? Ah, that's why. Okay, there we go. Hey, thank you for the pet. I appreciate it. Okay. I feel also there's dust being picked up recently. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so now... here's our tricky trick. I'm gonna make the ear without the flames be the default. So that way we can edit those flames in their own special little place. So we won't have any trouble with them. There we go. Here we go. Now over here, we can straight up put the fire here. Well, actually, here's the base fire. We take these. We put them on this one. Then we clear out the unnecessary parts. There we go. Let me just do this easier. Because of the coughing I can't talk much. Yeah, it does that. I recommend, I can't recommend enough to have like a inhaler. I think it's called an inhaler. No, nebulizer. A nebulizer. Nebulizers are like pretty much a godsend. They're the greatest invention ever. They're awesome. And thanks to nebulizers, breathing is that much easier, essentially. I can't recommend enough. They just... you didn't like once or twice a day, depending on how bad your area air quality is. And they help clear up the sinus. If the sinus is clearer, it doesn't drop on your throat. Because 95% of the time that the throat gets attacked, it's because, unfortunately, it's stuff that's dripping from the nose inwards, right? And it will hurt the throat. So now you know why you get that. Okay, this is kind of funny, but anyways. My nostrils have always been irritated and closed up. I can't recommend nose sprays enough. Breathing it through what feels coffee straws isn't fun. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, I have had a sore throat for a bit. I can imagine. I can imagine. You could probably use a nebulizer. Honestly. This was because of my singing lessons, right? My Like, me and Momochi, we started singing lessons a long time ago, and the main reason we did this was because we wanted to improve our voice controls for stream mostly, right? So stuff like being able to last longer, that sort of shenanigans. And maybe being able to get a bit of voice acting done. I don't know if you guys know the full story of how we ended up getting singing lessons. We originally decided to try to get voice acting lessons, but unfortunately when we got to the place, the voicing lessons were only for people who already had a degree in acting. So we couldn't actually be part of the lessons, even though they didn't specify that anywhere in the pamphlets. So, whoa. Okay, that was trippy. So we ended up wasting an entire day going there for nothing, but on the bright side, we did get our deposit back, so that wasn't too bad. Still was rather annoying. Somewhat good ending note. Yeah, we did get the money back. That wasn't an issue. Anyways, gonna relax now. Have a fantastic day, Cables. Alright, Zor. Have a great day too. And it was interesting because Momochi was looking at the singing lessons that conflicted with the voice acting lessons, and just as we got rejected from the voice lessons, the singing lessons open vacancies essentially. So we went with singing lessons instead. And it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I like it a lot. I also like that I wasn't kicked out of there. I'm not sorry. Did it sound like it was meant to be? Yeah, that's what I said to Momochi. That's what I said to Momochi. And that's what Momochi said to me too. I don't remember which one said that. One of us said that to each other, I'm sure. But basically our teacher is very nice. She's quite a character. She plays around a lot. She jokes around a lot with us. She's very nice. Very good and motivating too. Which honestly can't stress enough how good that is in a teacher, you know. If you ever had a bad teacher, the kind that makes you feel like you're doing a crap job and stuff like that, you know how invaluable a teacher that knows how to motivate is. Friendly teachers make the difference. They do, they do. For one thing, they make it so it's much easier to learn. And yeah, she's great. She's great. One thing that still is a pity though is that that place that had the classes for voice acting also had podcasting classes, and those seemed pretty interesting because they would like give us a basic idea of how to work the equipment and stuff like that, but they canceled it. I think part of the reason it's like math teachers so much is because most of my math teachers back then were horrible. Horrible math teachers are so common. They're such a common... they're almost a trope. They are almost a trope. It's incredible. It's incredible. They cause so much harm. Because math is such an important skill. Oh god, oh god. I had this teacher when I was growing up. That she was trying to teach us about like additions and subtractions. And she created a character for Matt that made Matt seem like the most unapproachable, horrible person. You know what the issue is, Camel God? You wanna know what the issue is? I think I know. I think I know what the issue is. The issue with Matt is that almost by default, people kinda don't wanna learn it, right? It's almost by default. And the math teacher is the guy or gal who specialized into teaching the one thing no one wants to be taught, right? So a lot of the time they become pretty jaded. Okay, me imagining a character like that made by a math teacher made me laugh. Yeah, so what was it she said? She invented like a little story because she was trying to teach us the importance of using the correct things in the correct order, like for additions and subtractions, right? And she ended up telling us that Matt was basically kind of a stuck-up bitch, if we're gonna be translating one-to-one what she told us. That Matt liked fashion, and Matt would judge us if we misuse the signs. She would laugh at us and make us cry or something like that. She was like, let's just say she was a little bit too dramatic, right? I think I get what she was going for. Yeah, it's complicated. I think I get what she was trying to say. She was trying to say, like, basically, if you screw up with these things, it's gonna be bad for you, right? But the analogy she used was so bad. It was so bad. Another thing that's really hard to teach math, that makes it really hard to teach math in general, is Basically. That a lot of people already decided they hate it, right? So I kind of get it. It does feel like a losing battle. It does feel like a losing battle. And the main reason they hate it is because the reasons why you need to learn math are not yet clear, young Padawan. They're not yet clear. So it's really hard to teach something that the person is questioning what is math good for, and the only answer you get is, trust me, bro. Yeah, no. Seems kinda sus. Know what I mean? Never actually thought about it, but that makes perfect sense. Yeah, it's kind of an issue of how math is taught. Because when math is taught, right, the key idea is that math is a tool that you're gonna use to solve a bunch of different stuff in the future, right, in your academic future. But meanwhile, you're calculating why this motherfucker bought so goddamn many watermelons, you know what I mean? So the only answer the only use they can show for math is so boring, right? Something that's like really boring and barely makes sense. So it's naturally hard for people to be excited about math. The answer is he loved watermelon, knew the apocalypse was coming, so he had to stock up. Yeah, he was getting ready for the rapture. I think... Did you ever go to Christian camps? Yesn't. So we didn't have Christian camps, right? But my school had something that they would call... My school would do something that they would call a school retreat. That was essentially that they did to us when we were teens, where basically we would go to a farm that was owned by one of the priests, right? And they wanted us to go there to reflect about Jesus. So basically they would lure us with the promise of we can use the pool, you know? But then we would have to do some like essays and some there would be like some talks about, I don't know, why having sex is bad, you know, that kind of stuff. That sort of stuff. I still remember. There was someone who actually took advantage of that to ask a very interesting question to the priest. Why would masturbation be considered a sin if it's technically a natural function of the body, right? And the answer the priest gave was fascinating. It was fascinating because these priests were actually more open. I'll give credit where it's due. These priests, they were Bosco priests, Don Bosco, which is a subsection of the Catholic Church that's focused on guiding the youth, right? Which is why there was a school. And as far as techniques for guiding the said youth, they are much more. They're much nicer, I would say. They are much nicer. Which is something I do give credit for them. They're not all bad. It's just, you know, it's church stuff. They try, but like it's hard. But essentially, the reason why masturbation would be considered bad, and it would covetly include homosexuality as well, because of course, right? But it also like really smelled like bullshit. Was because technically the act isn't. Okay, so check out this marvelous logic. So the act isn't, but the pleasure that you get from it is, because a wife is not present. Which also means it's a-okay to masturbate in front of your wife, according to that, if you're gonna read between the lines. If you wanna read between the lines, you can read it like that also. The idea supposedly is... Yeah, not what you were expecting. Yeah. They were trying to be reasonable about it. Whether they succeeded or not, I'll honestly leave that up for debate, but... I do like that we are discussing this while a hentai game music is playing in the background. I think that's amazing. And you can't get that kind of experience in any other stream. Clearly they didn't succeed because it's still like the devil that is called Yu-Gi-Oh! Oddly enough, interestingly enough, they didn't demonize Yu-Gi-Oh! In my school. Here in Brazil, that was... Because Brazil is kind of weird. The Christians are divided into Catholic and Protestant, like in most places. But unlike most places where Usually it's not most places. Unlike in the US, this is what I feel that the Christians are more literal with the Bible, and the Protestants are a little bit more open-minded, right? But here in Brazil, it's the opposite. Here in Brazil, the Protestants are more literal, and the Christians are more open-minded. Which is interesting. It is an interesting phenomena. So honestly, Catholic priestess just didn't care about Yu-Gi-Oh, didn't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh was, right? Meanwhile, on the Protestant side, they were doing gospel music about how they hated Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon, and Jesus is the only one I gotta catch. Which is an interesting music, to say the least. At the end of the day, religion is open to interpretation, right? At the end of the day, religion is open to interpretation. And it is what you make out of it. It is what you make out of it. It just is what it is. There's 4,000 estimated religions, so for sure, yeah. Yep. There is like a weird flicker here. Okay. Interesting. So we're gonna have to resync this. There we go. But yeah, so it wasn't so bad. I could even play Yu-Gi-Oh! On the playground without any issues, as long as I didn't... I did it after school hours, basically. So I couldn't play it during school hours, or... obviously not in class, right? But like, if I played it while I was waiting for the school bus to arrive or something like that, it was no problem whatsoever. And back then, Yu-Gi-Oh! Didn't have this ultra mega hyper complicated combos, so that was a thing that could be done. But yeah, like a bunch of kids had their cards burned. I like to imagine a tourist fishing at a church in the time Brazil only singing about Yu-Gi-Oh! No, that they wouldn't sing about that in church. They would sing about it on the radio. Now, why is this happening? I'm pretty sure I made a good system. But over here, see? It's doing it wrong. It's not resetting fully. Oh, here's the final... Is this the final frame? No, this is the frame before the last frame. This is the final frame. Okay, so it's not too bad. It's just one frame that's off. Oh, okay. Huh. Let's go. Wait, what's happening here? Yeah, it's this into this. So this one is wrong. It's supposed to be this one. That goes into this one. So this one goes into this one. Okay. And this one goes into this one. That's so weird that it's not working the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay. I think I remember why it's doing this. I think I did an oopsie. Okay. There we go. Now it should work. Now it should work properly. Here we are. What happened? Oh, it was a mistake of mine. I basically picked I pulled a frame too early. And I glued two frames together and didn't realize I ended up distorting the animation, essentially. As it usually is the case with those things, it's rather dumb. And my fault most of the time. Mistakes gonna happen from time to time, essentially. And there is another problem too. Oof. There is another problem. Oh no! God damn it. The syncing is off. Okay, so this one is at least easy to fix. This one is like the easiest one to fix. Just do this. There we go. Something I wondered about, like a dragon or a real creature. How would it produce fire from the mouth? Would it release methane to produce animal? So, actually, there have been movies that try to answer that. There have been quite a few pieces of media that have tried to answer that. The most agreed upon version, right, is basically a organic flamethrower. So the dragon would have a pouch that stores a flammable oil that it produces. So it would have a flammable oil gland, right, that stores up oil, much like, let's say, a snake stores venom, right? And then you take that and you combine it with like a special organ around the mouth. Sometimes it's the tongue. The tongue would have like some sort of hard substance attached to the tip of the tongue, right? That the dragon could manipulate the tongue to make it flick, and it would cause a spark. So essentially, when the dragon breathes fire, what it's actually doing, it's spraying flammable oil with a spark that would make the oil caught on fire. So it would spray fire oil on its target. There's a movie called Kingdom of Dragons or something like that, where basically dragons are real and these guys were digging stuff up, right? And they accidentally released the dragons who were slumbering in a cave underneath the earth. They Minecrafted too hard, basically, right? There was Minecrafting, it was too hard, Minecrafting. So, because of that, the dragons awaken and they basically destroy the world, and there's like a few human survivors living in fear, and the dragons have destroyed the environment. Basically, everything has been turned to ashes because of the way they hunt and stuff like that. It's very corny. It's a very corny movie. It is pretty fun though. It has like this one really good scene right at the beginning. Shame that some of the best scenes are at the beginning, right? But basically, because because civilization as we know it has ended, that means that copyrighted has ended as well. So the dude is making up a play to children, and it's basically Star Wars, medieval Star Wars, and he uses the twist that the Dark Knight was the White Knight's father all along. It's cute. It's cute. That's all I'm gonna say. It's actually pretty cute. It's a really cute scene. You can kind of see the guy pulling this off, all the children being like extremely surprised by the plot, and he looks really proud of himself, like for being kind of a smartass for using that. He's like, yeah, that I knew that movie was good. See, the children liked it too. While pretending he was the one who came up with it too. It's funny. It's funny. Thought it was cute. Honestly, let's be real. If you were in a similar position, let's say you travel back in time, right? And you and like the only gig you can do is like to be a wandering minstrel. Wouldn't you use tried and true story beats from famous movies that haven't been invented yet to trick people into thinking you're some amazing talented writer so you could survive? Good idea. Make sure to remember that for when that happens. See, now you're ready. Now you're ready. Now you are 100% ready for when that inevitably happens. Because, of course, it is going to happen, surely. Surely. I'll be sure no one brings back that. Honestly, though... man... Echo just has some misguided design. It's not that bad. I mean, it is that bad, but it's not that bad. But it kinda is, but it's not that bad. Except that it is, but it's not that bad. It's a canon event for people to enjoy. Enjoy is a big word. See, here's the thing that's weird about Echo. Echo... people can like Echo unironically. Echo is not Bubsy the Cat. Which, by the way, is coming soon to the Nintendo Switch. I don't know if I'll play it. But God, Bubsy. God, Bubsy. But like, the thing with Echo is that it must have been successful. Because it's considered a classic despite it all. It still is quite a phenomenal game graphics-wise, right? It's very technologically advanced for its time. There's a bunch of like things about Echo the Dolphin that makes it a important piece of history, I think. It's a piece of video game history, right? I do think we have learned and changed from angry video game nerd days of destroying cartridges in hissy fits in like fun, in like creative manner because it's entertaining. Which, by the way, unfortunately, this is a little bit true. All the YouTubers that used to destroy cartridges for bits in their videos are the reason why some cartridges nowadays cost up to 800 monies, right? And some have become so rare. There are different reasons why they became so rare, but unfortunately people buying them in bulk really cheap to throw them under buses or something like that for their YouTube channel is among the reasons, unfortunately. And honestly, I'm not gonna pretend like I didn't laugh at the bit, because I did at the time. But I believe we grown past this. I believe we grown past this. Though I'll be real, I'm not even entirely sure that the Angry Video Game Nerd actually destroyed the cartridges, or if he just used some practical effects to make it seem like he destroyed them. Was he knowledgeable enough of movie making in order to do this? Kinda. Some of the OG YouTubers for video reviews and stuff like that actually went to movie college. Did you know that? Echo the Dolphin should have just loved Benji Tin Man. Nah, they're completely different tiers. One is... The Beijing thing is, what the fuck is this kind of thing? While Echo, a group of people, put a lot of effort into making sure that that game was ungodly hard. I can't even speculate what that other one is, because it's a bootleg, it's stuff like that. Kinda reminds me of those weird adult games for Atari, of all things. Those were... Those were like people putting real effort into being horny with anything. The graphics were not there. 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 There's only like 2 surviving copies in Hong Kong 97. One of them was held by the creator of the game and given to a YouTuber who had an interview with him. Man, it is always fascinating how things like this ever come to be. You know? You can't even really hate a game, honestly. Yeah. A game is just a game. You can get a bit frustrated with it because it's hard or because it's not well made and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, a game is just a game. Now, getting mad at the people who made the game intentionally bad because they wanted to add microtransactions or something to it, now that's a different story entirely. But That's for another day. Apparently, creator actually forgot the game completely because he made it when I take 60 and only... You know what? That is such an Eye of Argon moment. That is such an Eye of Argon moment. That's like if the internet would randomly find some bad game factory game I made when I was like 16 and would be like, oh my god, how was this ever made? Cheaply at home by someone with no experience. Sometimes the answer is pretty obvious and not that interesting at all. But yeah, sometimes people like to try and make myths out of stuff. I'm surprised that the guy who made it didn't like lift the assets from anything. Especially if it was like a personal project. He stated his goal is to make it the worst game possible as a mockery to the game industry. Yep. That sounds about right and about what a 16-year-old would make. Honestly, it sounds about right. Okay, this is good. Now we need to figure out a loop for this. I am thinking maybe we could do like a little wiggle like this, you know what I'm saying? The setup may already serve sell the game with floppy disks and cartridges for so another 30 copies having have print several hundred copies to insert. Later 308. This game could very easily become lost media. I do find it pretty amazing. The dedication, right? Of people who are trying to find these games to preserve them, regardless of quality. I think that's a very noble endeavor. Okay. That actually reminds me, there was a similar project to... but for animals. So basically, I remember there were talks about this project to create a genome arc, so to speak, with the goal of trying to preserve the genes of every living species on the planet. Because there is a possibility that one of these genes could be useful for something in the future. Like maybe a random pineapple breed that only exists in like Malaysia or something could secretly have the cure for cancer in it, right? So to make sure that X species going extinct wouldn't cause us to lose the possibility for like genome treatment for diseases and stuff like that, they wanted to make this project where they would collect DNA from all species and create some sort of DNA arc. That I'm pretty sure went nowhere because I never heard of anything about that again, so yeah. But yeah. Would it be a bad idea? Probably not. Would it be economically viable? That's where things get a little bit harder. That is where things got a little bit harder. Question of the century. Yeah, usually the question that kills like 95% of like all dreams is this actually economically viable? And if you want to know a good example of one that got killed by that, flying cars. You know the dream of flying cars. Realistically, we have the technology. We could make flying cars. However, the amount of fuel they would consume, right? Jetpacks too. And honestly, stuff like, I don't know, stability issues or whatever, that can be fixed, I think. But there is one main thing that kills those ideas. Fuel efficiency. Yeah, the air traffic is like a really good one. Like, you can barely trust a person to drive a car on land, and you're gonna let them fly what's essentially an aircraft. Yeah, I don't believe AI is actually economically viable. I just think that tech companies got really desperate because they needed like a big break. They were built on making big breaks and amazing dreams, and they started to run out of stuff. They ran out of stuff they could sell as innovation. Because, like, let's be real. What came right before AI? Crypto, the whole... Not cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency existed a while. NFTs. And boy, were NFTs a load of nothing. And also the metaverse, which was an even bigger load of nothing. And the AI, I think they're able to push more successfully. because it's like a buzzword that people understand what it means. Cryptos are so bad for the environment, don't even understand what the point of NFTs are. There is no point for NFTs. There literally is no point. NFTs were a thing they discovered they could do, but they didn't really found a practical use for it, so they started pushing the technology first and then trying to find a use for it later. But basically the idea is that it's a way to artificially produce a collectible that you can resell for people with a lot of money and no common sense because they think it's fancy. It's complicated. I'm glad it's faded. At least that I think it's fading out. Crypto is still around, unfortunately. I like this. Let's see. Can I distort the face a little bit so it looks like it's dropping to the side? Kinda, but of course I need to fix a lot of stuff. Maybe we can keep it up here. Interesting. Yeah, I think this works better. And we can do a little bit of this. And a little bit of this. Honestly, as someone who has a degree in environmental managing, I weep. This shit is not sustainable. I know millionaires seem to have given up on the world and they want to go to space, but like, come on. You're actually wasting the resources you should be using for space travel in that case. At the end of the day, you're not gonna be able to make a rocket fly by burning money. I really do wonder if we will actually start to do stuff where it actually starts to affect the planet big time. Well... I think we are already there. The real question is... are we gonna be able to figure out how to fix our own mess before it's too late? It's the real question. Because, like, I do believe in the power of technological progress. It happens a lot, right? But my god, some of this stuff needs to stop. What technology would you like to see? I mean, can it like attainable, or can we go to a more fantastic one? Because if it's a more fantastic one, I would love to see like some sort of weather controlling satellite. Would be pretty amazing. If there was like a way to control the wind currents and stuff like that to ensure rain in different parts of the world and stuff like that. That would be pretty neat. People say they already have that. Yeah, no. Believe me, if anyone had access to this kind of technology, it would make them so much money. It would actually make them so much money. The person who owns this kind of technology... Okay, but people online said it, so it must be true. they would be so loaded. There is no way that if this technology was real, it wouldn't be used openly already. Okay, so 101. Here's the problem with conspiracies. People are freaking bad at keeping secrets. Like, for real though. Really, really bad. Have you seen how hard it is to keep a game feature from being leaked online nowadays? We live in the age where no one can hide stuff. Man, if someone had like a gossip as juicy as like, yeah, the New World Order conspiracy is actually real. Good God. And I guess this is where the conspiracy theorists can argue. But they do, and they're the whistleblowers that I follow on my favorite podcast about gay frogs. Nah. 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 It would have been common knowledge way too quickly. Because it's not only easy to spread information, but it's easy to verify. Most people are lazy, but it's easy to verify. The rich guy says he hates the rich and that the evil, their evil must be true. He is a good one though. Oh God. That actually, you know what? That actually reminds me of something. We kinda grew up. We as in people who grew up around the 90s and the 2000s. The 90s in particular. The 90s was a very funny time. Because companies would capitalize in this teen rebel, this like teen rebel attitude kind of situation of the cool dude, right? So you wanna be a cool dude. The cool dude doesn't play by the rules of authority. Rebel against your teachers. Rebel against your parents and stuff like that. Buy Bazooka Joe gun, you know? That kind of stuff. True rebels, chew Bazooka Joe gun. Be a true rebel. Think for yourself by doing what we tell you to do. Consume. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that. So it is it's like basically or rebel against the man, said the man from his office looking at profit margins. You know what I mean? It was it was very odd. Marketing was very odd. I don't know if it's still like this though. It might still be like this. But yeah, there was a lot of idea dissonance, I guess is the best way to put it. And just straight up contradictions. But I think this decade will be remembered for COVID. COVID probably, honestly. At least COVID will be one of the things that it will be remembered, because I think it had such a huge impact in people in general. It's like, I don't know, there was like this invisible gear that was operating, making people socialize alright, right? And COVID just destroyed whatever this magical invisible force did for people. And somehow, and suddenly everyone forgot how to socialize properly. Suddenly, not knowing how to date was the norm and not the exception. Suddenly... not talking to people and, I don't know, touch starvation became way more widespread throughout the world. It's curious. It's curious. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Apparently, humans need so much human contact so constantly, right? That interruption created a huge dissonance with everyone. It's... I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. 2020 feel like a blur to me? It feels like a blur to most people. I remember the toilet papers though. That was... like, god damn it. I feel like that was the origin story for like 90% of the hoarders of random stuff. Once they started with the toilet paper, they could not stop. I'll be real though, that is so common. It is so common that these random ass rumors will override people's ability to think straight. Because honestly, it's when everything's already so out of whack. How do you know you're not gonna get a toilet paper shortage, right? And the whole panicking and fighting for toilet paper kind of started in an attempt to create some order out of the chaos from the pandemic, if that makes any sense to you. Because essentially what happened, right, was people were afraid of the pandemic, and it was scary. There was a bunch of stuff. People were afraid, didn't know what was going to happen to the economy, of shortage. The news certainly didn't help. They were extremely negative. I remember around here in Brazil, right? Anything that happened, the news would say, this is going to ruin the economy for I don't know how many years. Like, there was a widespread trucker strike in the country, and they stopped it for like, what was it, like 3 days? A week at best? And the newspaper was like, and the economy will never financially recover from this, or something like that. And at that point, you're like, you gotta start wondering about how, if this is true, why are our systems so fragile that the production of 1 week will echo for years? The production, the 1 week of food being wasted or something like that can echo for years or something like that. And honestly, the governments weren't handling that throughout the world. The governments were caught pretty off guard. They weren't doing like the best job. So a lot of mistrust got people don't generally trust their governments very much. It kind of made it worse. COVID-19 update. Your house will be demolished tomorrow. Wait, how does that have to do with the virus? Something like that. Something along those lines. Everything felt like very urgent, so people are like trying to figure out what they can do to get a semblance of control over what's going on. And the answer to that was toilet paper, because, well, since it's kind of a cold, I'll probably need to blow my nose a lot if I get it, so I better have toilet paper ready for it. I better stock up on toilet paper. That's kind of how that started. That was the logic behind it. Yeah, it doesn't fix anything, but here's the thing. It is kind of a healthy human reaction, right? To want to do something, you know? You feel when you don't have any control, doing literally anything to feel like you're going towards something, right? Helps. It helps your mental health, essentially. And God mental health was in high demand and low supply during the pandemic. What do you mean I wasn't bored? I mean, although theoretically, right, if you want to talk about me becoming a VTuber, yeah, the pandemic kind of helped with that. Like, I always flirted with the idea of making content, but I never had the proper equipment to do it. I mean, I could have made videos, but I had a hard time focusing on stuff like that. So yeah, so that was a thing. It was a chain of events, absolutely. But once you wanted to give it a try, she was like, hey, do this too. And made my model for me. We got a streaming PC, essentially. Man, those were the days. Those were the days. We used to share our PCs. Our PC. We used to have only one PC that was potent enough for streaming. And we'd take turns with it to stream. We had one streaming PC and one work laptop. And that was it. Feels nostalgic about your first model now. I kinda miss those streams from 2021. Ah. Even though it sounded I was streaming from the submarine. Cause I remember the sound mixing was terrible. We were doing what we could, but we streamed from my room. And we had like no soundproofing whatsoever. It was so bad. I look at some of those and I do wonder, how did anyone watch it? Any of my content? I thought the sound was normal because it's pretty new to Twitch. I just assume it was the usual on any stream. I mean, on average it is, technically. There are a lot of people who stream with not the best equipment. But I didn't just want to stream as a hobby. So I was actually concerned with audio and stuff like that. So it wouldn't be like unpleasant or a turn off or stuff like that. But I think when you arrive at Camelgod, we had already fixed a lot of issues. It used to be way worse before you arrived. And I remember there was one stream that was like an absolute fail. I streamed Little Nightmares long time ago, right? And for some reason, when I put the capture on OBS, the OBS had trolled me and was capturing the game as transparent. Black was the transparent color, which is the prevailing color in that game because it is all shadows. So I didn't realize this. The game was extremely dark because the shadows were all transparent. And it was basically an unwatchable mess. It was basically an unwatchable mess. I know be kind to yourself and whatnot, but realistically it was an unwatchable mess. Objectively. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It was scuffed beyond belief. I think it's interesting. For some reason, Momochi's streams were a bit less scuffed. I think, personally, it has something to do with our voice pitches. So Momochi's voice was captured a little bit lighter by the microphone, while mine would echo all over the place. I think my voice would ping pong more than Momochi's. So yeah. Did you see Little Nightmare today? Really? Wow, I did not hear that. That is so cool. I haven't been seeing a lot of releases. I just discovered there's a new Ghost of game. I didn't even know. I think it's called Ghost of Yomei. Okay. Hold up, let me take this one out here. Why two of the U? Oh, I see, I see, I see. Ah, I see, I see, I see. Okay. I see. Best way to find out about releases? That is a good question, especially Usually it's going to be the directs nowadays. There used to be like big coverages, and maybe YouTubers like cover different releases and stuff like that. I'll be real, I am a bit late on my podcast. I have been a bit late on my podcasts. I haven't been watching them recently. And I guess I've been missing out on news. I remember I had a good time with Ghost of Tsushima. I thought it was a very competently done stealth game. Though I do think there is like a few things that are just inherent from stealth games, I guess, that I always find funny. Stealth games have some, like a base error in their design, where it's like, regardless of what happens, right? You can never really get away from these things from stealth games. They just have some inherent mechanics to them that makes it hard. Like, for instance, if you want to make a pure stealth game, that usually means your combat is going to suck. And if you make a pure stealth game where the combat is very deep and you have a powerful character, you end up making stealth useless. And honestly, I've seen what happens when you try to make a stealth game that doesn't have the stealth, doesn't have like any fighting whatsoever in it. And let me tell you, it's not good. It is not good. I actually played that on stream once, but the problem was the game was so bad that there would actually be memory leaks on the stream, so the game rendered itself unplayable after a while on stream. If one day, hopefully you have the time to make one. You know what could be cool? If like I had the skills to do it. In Live Alive there is a stage where you play as a ninja. And in that stage it's pretty interesting, because you can just stealth through every enemy in that stage. Which I think it's like a fascinating design choice, right? Also, oh god, I have not been syncing the hair at all. Oh boy, okay, so... yeah. Idea, what about a game that you have to speedrun, because if you don't, slowly starts to get slower and laggier until it crashes. The further it gets, slightly laggy, also harder because of that. Just your time. See, that idea is very interesting, but here's the problem with ideas like this. You have to value the player experience a lot. You don't want to make a game that feels too frustrating or too unfair, because otherwise you get Echo the Dolphin. You don't want to make Echo the Dolphin, but that's kind of how you make Echo the Dolphin. People have experimented with rage games for years now. For years. There is a one that I was aware of that didn't really go anywhere, but had like a really funny idea. The name of the game was Average Dan. It was a Mario clone, you know, because Mario is Super Mario, and then it's just average. And the key idea is that that game was going to be the opposite of Mario in every regard. It was both a rage game and a joke game. So basically the intro of the game, your hot dragon girlfriend gets kidnapped by the evil princess, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's up to you to save it. Because, haha, that's the opposite of what happens in Super Mario. They were leaning very heavily on that. And how else is the game the opposite, you may ask? The answer is simple. Enemies heal you and coins kill you. Coins heal you. It's a game where you want to avoid collectibles. And that was kinda what they were going for. They were going for like almost a social experiment game, right? Because what they were going for with this is kind of reminds me of runs people do where they try to get the little amount of good stuff possible. Exactly. I think that's what inspired it. Kind of like I think it's the Mario Doomshroom run, if I'm not mistaken. It's a thing. So yeah, stuff like that. It's like it was meant to be wacky. It was meant to be wacky. I remember it appeared on the Game Grumps because the name was called Average Dan. The developers contacted Dan from the Game Grumps. His name was Dan. And they made a hack where they basically put him as the main character. So he played it on the channel. And it was like a really good move on their part because they got some free advertisement out of that. And I got in quite a curious video to watch. Sometimes. Apparently, it's pretty hard to do those because you're very conditioned to see power-ups as good. So you kind of have to rewire your brain to be like, oh right, that kills me. That does not lead to a higher score, that leads to my doom. Did this work properly? Wait till you see Jones Man. I really like the Luigi Mansion games. I never played one. How much you play then? I know she likes them. You know, I tried to make a shimmer. Her eyes look like they are just going all over the place instead. That did not work at all the way I wanted it to work. Oof. Maybe... Let me try something. Let's see. No, it still looks weird. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Yeah, we can't mess with the reflection, unfortunately. What we can do, however... Oops, sorry. Where's the... There we go. There's the ears. I should probably... Before we get started. Okay. There we go, new empty frame. New empty frame. Here. Now we can do this properly. There we go. Now we can move it around. There we go. No, I moved it a little bit too much. Shoto. No, I moved it right. Okay. There we go. But yeah, Luigi Mansion seems really is looking good. Thank you. Usually stuff like these years is a little bit hard. We're halfway actually. We still need to think of something for a raid emote and a cheer emote. Cheer is just Beatonation in general, right? I'm gonna need to bounce some ideas with her. There are so many ways you can do Beatonation alerts, right? You can do the type where you get a biddy and you examine it, you could eat it, you know what I mean? You can get it tossed at your face. It's really up to preference, you know? You can get it as a gift. Since it's technically cheering, I could just like do a cheerleader outfit or something like that. Or just some pom-poms. I think some pom-poms are nice. An egg? Do you think Sonic stopped eating eggs because of Robotnik? Sonic just goes, ugh, I can't, I keep thinking of him. Ah, I never listened to Weird Al, actually. I know he makes a lot of cool parody music, right? I also just realized that I haven't been paying too much attention to the flames when I should have. Because I need to fit them better. Doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried, the lyric explains his thoughts on eggs most likely. I see. Yeah, there you go. See, I should have... is this correct? It works. Wink. Rule number 1, be cute. Ah, there we go. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Camel God. Feeling better. Okay, so let me think. What was the next one that we can use? Cheer. Okay, so cheer, donation. Let me check something real quick. I'm gonna check this as a reference of what not to do, because I have done some of these before, and I want to make sure I don't accidentally do the same. Yeah, donation was like this. Raid alert is the very basic. Right. Okay, so these are ideas I will not repeat. One thing I could do for raid, though, that would probably work well. Would be... Let me grab this one. Sub. Oh, there is something else I can do, by the way. I just thought of something. I just thought of something to make it this more... So maybe... we could do like a little like a heart. Like a heart special effect, you know what I'm saying? Of course, this heart looks kind of weird, but... you know, that's adjustable. That's adjustable. Okay, so maybe something along these lines. Though I'm not sure it fits the design of the character very well. Hmm. She is a little bit more tomboyish, so I'm not entirely sure if the heart is a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm not liking the idea. Not liking the idea. I don't like the idea of a gigantic heart. Maybe like some tiny ones. During the winking. You know, those I think are good. Like some little hearts like this. But Kiba, go big or go home. Never mind, you're at your home. I'd agree with that, Camel God. Usually I'd agree with that, but visual identity is important. We gotta keep it coherent with the characters. Character design. You know, I thought about making this eye blink, but then I realized that it would be like some sort of lizard thing, which is why she blinks from the same eye. You know, kind of like how lizards blink from each eye. Lizards make me want to blink like they blink. Lizardos, they're neat. Oh, actually, this is kind of funny. Theoretically, it just needs to start here because it's not gonna follow. Or is it? Hold up. Hold up, I think I have an idea. I think crocodiles do it, to be fair. They're basically giant lizards. Yeah, no, crocodiles are giant lizards. Let me see. Ah, you wouldn't be able to see regardless. Okay, that was a good experimentation. There we go. Yeah, that looks cuter. That looks cuter. I like that. Okay, so with that, everyone, that is all the time I have for today. I'm cooking. I'm cooking. We're gonna be able to do something neat with this, I'm pretty sure. I do need to send these. I think I need to send these to for Zyber to see what she thinks of these. I think I can already start to present some results. Oh, you did cook it. Thank you, Camel God. So, with that said, everyone, that's all the time I have for today. Hope you all have a wonderful day or night. And I'm actually gonna raid someone today. Let me see. There she is. Alright, everyone. Have fun with Spooky Game. Thank you all for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night. Stay awesome. And remember, when in doubt, when you think you can do it, just think like a ninja, and sure you can. So, bye-bye, everyone. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye. Bye. Go.